Davis. Ralph Duran is here tonight. He's from New York City. He is a promoter and stand-up comedian. He's running shows. They're called Fictional Reality Comedy Shows at the Fear City Comedy Club, right in New York, right down there on 17 Excess Street, and he's promoting now. He's had comedians like Just T, Eldon Gashi, Michael Stilfer, Aldi K, Manny Ramirez, Josh DeLon, and Lou Guerrero. So Ralph Duran is bringing it to the table. I met Ralph Duran back in Texas back in April of 2005, and I don't use this term too lightly, but Ralph Duran is a brother from another mother. And Ralph Duran, welcome to the show tonight.
Thanks, Joel. What's up, man? Thanks for having me on.
You got it, bro. And, you know, it's great to have you on because, you know, not everyone can do what you're doing, basically, Ralph. You do a lot out there in New York. Ralph, where were you born?
Bro, I was born in the Bronx. Man, should I hit him again with how we met?
Do what you got to do, man. What you got?
I said, man, like, we hit it off right away. We're in Austin. We're out there grinding. We're doing work, you know? And I said, man, I gravitated to you immediately, man, because you were that kind of guy out there, man. Just perfect, you know? And it was easy, bro. It was easy. Not many cats out there like you, bro. It was you were holding court. You're talking to everyone. I was like, man, this guy's dope.
No,
easy. It's easy, but also you have to be very careful because it becomes a little dangerous.
Yes. You know, and you know what, Ralph? It's true. I really appreciate all those good words. You know, and we don't use the word friends too lightly on this podcast. And I'll tell you, you've become a friend. If you're viewing audiences tonight live with us and listening audiences, Wrestling with Comedy here live. Your host Joel Davis with Ralph Duran as your guest. If you're just joining us, and Ralph Duran, just so you know. He is a generous person. He's a true friend, and he's actually loves comedy. One of the things that he loves to say in comedy is, "I love comedy, man." Yeah, Ralph, your network bandwidth is low, so your screen went low. I don't know if there's anything you can do about that. Your network bandwidth is low. We are live, folks. We're up here in the High Riser in Massachusetts, and right out of the Bronx, New York. Coming to you live is Ralph Duran. Ralph and I met we actually met in Austin, Texas, believe it or not. It's crazy how we met. I was flying out of Boston Logan Airport in Massachusetts, and Ralph was flying out of New York, and we ended up meeting out there last April and became friends. April and May, we were running up on 6th Street, and we were meeting a lot of nice ladies out there, and we had some fun nights over there at so many clubs, the Naba, Shakespeare's, Roscoe's, Creek in the Cave, the Velveeta Room. You know, I could go on and on. You know, the Sand Jack Saloon. And me and Ralph and I, we were friends. And let me tell you something. If you're a stand-up comedian or promoter, to call someone a friend, it's not easy to do. Ralph, what are you doing now in New York? And how are things working with the new shows you're promoting?
Bro, it's going. It's going. That's all I can say as a comedian, okay? It's going. I've heard a lot of people, I actually heard this guy, Jeff Ross, say how he loves the journey. This is a guy who's established, man. Broadway show, and he said he loves the journey. He loves the work. He loves, you know, the promoting aspect of it. He loves selling. He loves all the particulars aside from what I actually love, which is just getting up on stage. But, you know, it made me think, man, and it made me, like, I think about you, and I appreciate all the work that you do. You know, you got so many things going on. And, yeah, man, I gotta love that other aspect of it. Even though I don't.
No, you know, Ralph.
Get up and talk shit.
Exactly, but you know what, Ralph? You know, being out there on 6th Street in Austin, Texas. You know, a guy at a Massachusetts. I'm at a Boston, Massachusetts area, and you're at a Bronx, New York, and us being out there in Austin, Texas. That was like being out in the jungle. And man, you know, we really did a lot out there, and met some great people, and had some great opportunities, and gained a lot of experience. That leads me to my next question to you, because I'm not even sure of the answer, and I'm sure everybody listening tonight would like to know. When was your first comedy gig? Was it in Austin, Texas, or do you have prior experience?
It actually was, bro.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was one of those things. You know, I've always loved comedy, right? I love a comedian. I love someone who gets out there, says some things without being afraid, but wants to produce laughter, right? I've always loved that. Did I ever see myself as a comedian? No, I didn't. It wasn't until someone told me, I don't think you're funny. And I said, really?
Yeah.
Really? Everyone in the car was laughing hysterically. But it was a little bit of hate that was thrown towards my way. And I said, man, just for shits and giggles, let me just, get up there and try to have fun. And I did, man, and it was great. It was great. I've been, I'm addicted.
Honest to God, Ralph, I'm going to tell you straight up, and everybody knows I don't BS. I keep it real 24/7. You came along out there in Texas, and to start your comedy career in Texas. Now you're going on your 1-year anniversary coming up next month, April 2026 will be 1 year that you've been a stand-up comedian. You're already promoting in the big city, New York City. I mean, you're really on the fast track. And Ralph, you were out here actually last year, June 26, 2025. You were a feature comedian in Cranston, Rhode Island at Morasco's Bar and Grill. You worked for Keeping It Real Comedy, the promotion that I run. You were the feature comedian on June 26, 2025. You came back on September 25th, 2025. You featured again, and then the next night, you and Eldon Gashi were over there on the 26th on a Friday night. Eldon was our actual host, and you were there just supporting all the comedians like you are. You're really always one of those guys to support the comedians and cheer everybody on. And you actually even drove the DJ. You were driving the DJ Robbie Janinski around that weekend. It's just that, man. It's just all behind the scenes. Folks, stand-up comedy is not easy to do. It really isn't. You're hearing right now tonight, Ralph Duran is not only a stand-up comedian, but also a promoter. He's got these big shows coming up there, and he's continuing to work at it. And as far as I can see, and I did a little research, Lou Guerrero was your first winner?
Yes, man.
Yeah, man. So how was that?
It was so crazy. It was something like that because I hosted open mic, and again, this is one of those things, Joel. Like, I'm working at this comedy club, okay, and the owner, he's one of those guys who's there, he's watching, he's listening, he's paying attention. Somebody that you can easily connect with, and that's where I'm producing the show. So he gets on board, like, again, immediate, like, those things where you appreciate people who are actually putting in work and who actually watch you. Because New York City's a big space, right? And a lot of times you have producers, promoters who aren't actually there. This guy's there. It's one of those clubs. It's intimate. It's just a perfect room to do comedy. Like, comedy really shines in that room. So it's worked out. It's one of those I call it's become like a second home for me. And again, man, that's for real. Shout out to Jonesy, man.
Shout out.
There,
yeah.
Man.
Well, this is going to be
one of his things. He was like, that was like a dream of his to do have his own comedy club where he can showcase talent and be a part of the New York comedy scene.
That's right. And folks, we really appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We have quite a few people in the chat right now. We have some people that are cheering you on here. Loki here. Also, D Stand Up. Also, she's on here right now, and they're watching. They're watching and listening. And, we can always learn in comedy. It's such a great business. And Ralph Duran is a perfect example of how somebody can make their way up. Even when you got to remember, Ralph Duran is owns runs a big business with his family. He's a very busy man. He's behind the scenes, but he also takes time to do crazy things, like even wheel around in a wheelchair with a Michael Jackson T-shirt with a backpack the wrong way. Now, Ralph, was that considered building content? Like, did you want someone to ask you what you're doing? Tell the people about that what you were doing, Ralph. You were building content. Bro, the
actual the story behind that, Joe, is so crazy because I had to step away. Like you just mentioned, I also do work. I work with my family. We have a lot of different projects going on, and I love comedy, okay, but it's hard to step away. So I stepped away for a while, and I know I had this idea in my head. People like, yeah, where has this guy been for the last, couple of months? I show up in a wheelchair, bro.
That's funny shit, man. That's funny shit. If you just joined us, this is Ralph Duran, stand-up comedian and promoter from New York City. He's promoting shows, fictional reality comedy shows at the Fear City Comedy Club. And that comedy club that Ralph Duran is promoting and booking is on 17 Excess Street in New York, New York. We're so happy to have Ralph Duran tonight. If you haven't subscribed to Wrestling with Comedy channel, please do so. Also, Ralph and I would love you to hit like on this video here tonight, the live video. We are going to replay this for everyone to check it out. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of viewers. We appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Ralph Duran, we have something that we call here on Wrestling with Comedy, dealing the names. I'm going to throw 5 names at you. Each name, I'd like you to give me a one-word, Ralph, on each name or one sentence. The first name, comedian Ralphie May.
Lovable.
That's a great way to say it. Number 2 on the list, Lou Guerrero.
Insightful.
Very good. Number 3, Eldon Gashi.
Great energy.
Beautiful. Number 4 on the list, Richard Pryor.
Hero.
Wow, you're good at that, man. And the last one, number 5, DJ Robbie Fresh.
Oh, man. Dope, man. Just dope, too, man.
Yeah, and on a funny note, Ralph, we got a few minutes left before we have to say goodnight to everybody tonight here on Wrestling with Comedy. But before we say goodnight, I did want to mention a real funny story. When Eldon Gashi came in on the first show at the Seafood and Cones in Rainham, Massachusetts, the outdoor show this past summer that I booked, we had him as a host. He was hilarious. He sang karaoke. You featured the night before. You took the stage. You exactly. You had the baseball in your hand, and you were throwing the baseball around back there. And what a great show that was! And the fans and the audience really loved your performance. But what happened was when I first met Eldon, we had messed up on the poster, and he wasn't Eldon Gashi. He was Eldon Gandhi. we had to mention that. That was a hilarious time. Folks, we're just getting at, like, stand-up comedy and behind the scenes. There's so much that you don't hear about and so much that you don't know about, but we're sharing it here on this podcast. Austin, Texas. Let's talk about it real quick again, Ralph. What can you share with the listeners tonight about Austin, Texas? Is it really the hotbed like they say it is? I mean, I believe it is.
I believe it is, too. It's very, you have a lot of people out there on the street, it's great. You have so many comedy clubs to hit, like, if you love comedy, you're gonna love the space. They might have a lot of, side things going on. There's a lot of people having fun out there, Joel, you know what I mean?
A lot of people are having fun. A lot of people are having fun. Just like that, just like the woman that we met that one night was having a real good time. She had those tight Daisy Dukes on, and I said to her, what are you doing? And she said, well, I'm working. And then we said, what about your friend? She said, well, she's not working right now. She's on the menstrual cycle. That's funny shit, brother. We have Ralph Duran here tonight. Ralph, any plugs for any upcoming shows before we say goodnight?
Man, just a plug. It's like for comedians out there, you got to keep grinding, keep getting inspired. Be around other people who are funny, who enjoy comedy. Okay, that's the plug. And again, I'm doing that Fear City Comedy Club. I got a couple other shows coming up. Just follow me on Ralph Duran Comedy. I'm producing more stuff, trying to get into the space of, posting more things on Instagram and Twitter, but also trying to focus on comedy and being on the stage, because I do love being on stage, Joel. I love being on stage. I love the immediate feedback you get from an audience, from an actual audience. It's hard. I know it's important for the promotional aspect, but I love I love connecting with people. Like what we did in Austin, where we were just, hanging out, wake up at 12, have some drinks, talk some shit, tell our jokes, and then hit the stage. That was a great time, Joe. Like that's the space I want to live in. But I know in order to do that, I have to do a couple of other things, like what you're doing with the promoting aspect. And so it's grinding. We're learning.
We
get there.
We are, Ralph, and you got to keep in mind, not many comedians can say they've been in Austin, Texas, and been on stage at some of these clubs. And you were actually even on stage, if I'm correct, at the Sunset Strip Comedy Club, where the secret show was ran by Brian Redband. Didn't you do? You did a show out there, didn't you? Creek in the Cave, another venue.
You were at Mother City that night, man.
That's right. And you know what, folks? We just want to say this to everyone, too. Ralph Duran and I, we experienced 6th Street in Austin, Texas. We love you all. We love all the viewers and listeners. If you're in the New York City area, go check out Ralph Duran over there at the Fear City Comedy Club, because let me tell you something. Ralph loves what he does, and I love him like a brother. Ralph Duran, I'm so happy that you were able to get on the show here with us tonight. And really, before we say goodnight, I keep on saying before we say goodnight, but before we say goodnight, I'd like to make a statement, Ralph, and please finish it. And this statement is like this, okay? When I was in Austin, Texas, I wish I
got murdered.
With that, folks, thank you. My name's Joel Davis. That was Ralph Duran.